Boom, boom, boom. Amazing. What is up, y'all? It is your favorite spiritual psychology practitioner and trauma coach, Alex. There we go. Ooh, we're playing the balance game on one of my devices. We're like streaming on multiple platforms, y'all. I'm so excited. Y'all, it is Alex. Welcome to today's episode. I am your favorite spiritual psychology practitioner and trauma coach here with Awakening with Alex, and we are getting into a new moon in Gemini manifestation celebration. And so let me know in the chat where you're from, where you're watching in at, and say what's up, say what's up. Let's get into this. Whoo, y'all, if you are here, you are definitely part of my awakening community. You are part, or at least curious, right? You're at least curious of things that are going on. People are waking up. And of course, if you've watched me for a while, you know I've talked about the fact that 2023 is the year to make your creations happen. I am playing a serious balance game on one of my devices that I'm quite impressed, low-key, of myself right now. So that's what that was for a second. But yeah, I am so excited because y'all, there's a lot, and it's beautiful, and I'm excited. And so basically, right, we're in a new moon phase. Okay. And so that's where oftentimes we want to be doing things with like creation, and being able to step into things. And so we're going to get into some of the themes that I'm seeing different, and the astrology and stuff, the transits and the energy that's moving that accordingly. We're going to get into some breath work and meditation. I'm super excited because we're like opening up the throat chakra, because ultimately it's about communication right now and really taking advantage of that and what that looks like for you and where you're at in your journey. So before we get started, in the description, wherever you're watching, you will find links for all the things I'm about to talk about. So of course, if you do have an interest in Pomsky puppies, we do have some ready to go right now. So check out all of our information in the links. And if you want to schedule a free Zoom call, we always encourage that as well, to be able to see who we have available, right? And of course, we are getting ready to start our 40-day abundance. Like, y'all, that's what I'm talking about, like communication and everything else. you aren't familiar, quickly, it's John Randolph Price 40-Day Abundance Challenge. And so every day for 40 days, we are going to be meeting and meditating together. Now, if you can't make the live meditation, that's totally fine. You'll be sent out, when you register and stuff, you will be sent out a workbook, and you'll be sent out the links to the meditations after every session. So because I am going to be doing it from 06 to 06:15, so just a 15-minute brief in the morning, Central Standard Time, of course. So wherever you're at, that might look a little different, but the intention was to do it right before most people start their day. And so I'm super excited because, y'all, I have done this many times in the past, and the things that come from like all of the beautiful, like, it's just because ultimately, basically, it's affirmations, and we go through it, but it's really goes deep into aligning with God and allowing God to speak and move in and through you in relation to your finances. Finance is a huge thing that a lot of people, well, it's not just finance. I mean, it goes much more than that, but like wealth, right? Wealth consciousness, finances, that type of thing, right? I really specifically, if you're interested in our membership and stuff, we specifically focus on generational wealth consciousness, because for me, it's not just my consciousness I want to upgrade and elevate, it's my whole lineage. Like, y'all, we fixing to like make a whole lineage of game changers, right? I literally have it on my mirror written, when I changed my identity. It's a leader of Jesus loving, world changing Spartans. And it's true. That's my philosophy. And so that really comes down to the wealth, the generational wealth consciousness, and really building that up. And fantastic. And then, of course, because you're engaging with people, you're, especially if you watch it live, and even if you don't watch it live, you can catch it later. Like, energy is still connected. There is no time, like linear. Time is not linear. Just throwing that out there. So even if you catch it later, or just like if you're catching this later, you're absolutely going to be able to jump onto it. And then even if you're finding this after us doing the 40-Day Abundance Challenge, still register at the link wherever you're finding this, because that will take you to where you can register to get the replays and do it on your own with the recordings that we did. So I'm super excited to be doing this, because I'm having like journals. In your work, but it's like we got like journal prompts and everything for like the day, because it's like, man, if y'all are really willing to, if you are ready to grow, like for real, this is only for people who are like ready to grow. Don't come in here with your half-ass. Like, I'm looking for people who are genuinely ready to grow. You were like, yes, this is my time. I see everything you're talking about, Alex. I know the energies you're talking about. I'm just as excited as you on the other side of the screen, because we understand that it is the optimum time to grow. Like, you want to set, like, we are setting the stage, and we're going to kind of get into that. We are literally in the process of setting the stage for so many years to come, like right now, like now. Everything we're doing now is amplifying us. And I mean, what do you want to break? I mean, I can't even tell you how many things I laugh. I was talking with some mentors, and it was just like, I'm like, yeah, if you kind of step outside my life, like my personal life, it kind of looks like a dumpster fire. But it's like being in that 0 point of consciousness, I see how everything is working and uprooting and shifting and changing. And it's like, I'm ready to grow. Let's go. Like, let's fucking go. And if that is you, join us, because it's free. This is a free event, free meditation, free workbook, because it was put on my heart and was like, hey, let's do this. We need to be bringing like abundance. We need to be bringing growth. We need to be reaching people who are ready and showing up, because honestly, it's not so much the methodologies that really help amplify and like help people make like quantum leaps and things of that nature, right? It's the discipline. You are serving yourself when we are disciplined to show up every single day for 40 days. And y'all, if you haven't put a habit, like put an intentional habit into motion for a while, you might be surprised at how 40 days consistently showing up, because you're supposed to start over if you miss even one day. So that means you go back to the very beginning of the recordings, right? And I mean, of course, you're obviously welcome live, but the, intent would be you go back to the very beginning of the recordings and you start from day one on your own and go from there. And so that's where this challenge is coming in. This is where, I mean, it is a challenge. It's a challenge to show up every day. But like we're going to talk about here shortly, with all the themes and the energies and all the stuff that's going on, if you are willing to put in the work, and if you've been doing the work, now is your time to receive these blessings. Now is the time, like, we're communicating. And that's really the ultimate theme, because Gemini is all about communication and everything else. And now we're illuminating and we're planting the seeds that we want to create with in the, like, the dark, and, you know what I mean? Like sowing them in the dark so they can sprout and, all that stuff, right? What is it you want to create? What have you been wanting to create? Like, what are the things? Like me, I'm creating a bunch of stuff. Like that's why I'm like so excited, because it's like it's not just my business. It's not just one thing or another. It's like my family. It's for myself. It's relationships. It's all kinds of relationships. It's getting out of my comfort zone and doing things that I'm like, okay, I said I was going to do it. This is the person I want to identify as. When are you going to do it? Tomorrow? Oh yeah, because tomorrow always comes, doesn't it? Then what? Are you going to be disciplined? Or are you going to keep saying, oh, I'll get to it tomorrow? No, get to it now. I mean, if you really want it, of course. And you might not, and you might not be ready to receive, and that's okay. You might need to do some more healing if that's, you know, and this also could be a beautiful time to come up with, because when I went through this the first time, y'all, all the limiting beliefs, let me tell you, it came cascading into my consciousness. All the things and the fears and all the stuff around wealth and abundance and just receiving. That was my, honestly, that was the one thing I was really surprised when I was doing the abundance challenge the first time, is how much I was unable to receive at that time. Just anything. Receive help, receive love, receive kindness. And it was interesting because it took me on a whole cascading event of deeper soul healing, and it like showed me all these different things that I was not expecting, of course. And but it was beautiful because it opened up all these doors of healing, and I'm like, yes, let's go deep, because it's like, y'all, I have faced some crazy shit in healing my traumas, things that I'm just like, wow, okay, when you start remembering things, and it's so beautiful to have that conscious awareness, to have that awareness that this opportunity to heal at a deep cellular soul level even exists, so that we can finally step into our full divine paths, our calling, or whatever it was, that, because like we all came here, we all have missions, right? We all are the divine expressing, like for me, I'm God expressing as Alex. And I mean, I have a choice. I can step into that divine alignment of what I was created and brought here to do in my own unique expression that only Alex can do in the way things Alex does. Only Alex has a breeding Pomsky consciousness enlightenment program. Like, what? Y'all, like seriously, it was so cool. Actually, sorry, tangent, but this was so cool. I love when I get to meet families who have an awareness and consciousness, and I can actually talk like what I consider normal talk, but I have to be mindful of how I word things into whom and who it is. I'm, because my customers are Pomsky dog families. Like they don't care about consciousness. They're not coming to me about consciousness. They're coming to me because I sell dogs, right? Designer breed, and they're smart and they're worked with and they're amazing, right? That's why they're coming to me. But when they also have the consciousness, right? And I was talking to her, she recently, I was like, yeah, we were talking about the dog she ended up actually adopting. It's like, yeah, her heart space just popped right open. She's like, what do you mean? And so I was expressing like how I'm able to get their heart spaces to like literally line up with mine, and we just open each other, and I feel them out energetically and allow them to just expand, because it's like they understand that they're safe. All of those primal instincts that are the canines bring down, like den living, being in the tight confined space, away from predators, safe, right? That type of fear response that is innately bred into them because they were wild dogs at one point, the breeds and lineage and the trauma, the epigenetics of survival to keep the dogs alive. But when you can open them up and get them to move, their physical bodies and a mind body connection that is expanded in it's so cool, like being able to like do that. And we can do it with humans. I've done it with my children, and I'm working on my doctorate in metaphysical counseling, and this is all part of it. And it's really freaking cool, because it's like when it's all about opening and expanding the heart space and literally creating the energetics behind it and opening up that space and being able to have those conscious conversations and being able to explain to her, yeah, like their heart spaces literally will just pop open, and they're like, oh, it's safe to express, it's safe to be my light. And they just are like these beautiful little conscious beings that are like, oh, it's so safe. And there's so much this and there's so much of that, and they're so like desensitized to like babies crying and door knocking and all that stuff, where it's like they just get to express in their beautiful unique selves because they feel so, and they are so safe to do so. And like, y'all, the research we've been doing, it's mind blowing, like that I've been witnessing and like documenting and all the things, it's mind blowing, because it's the soul's expression. It's witnessing the creation of the divine, right? God expressing through each and every one of these dogs, this beautiful divine, and giving it that space and that safety to express as such, to be able to go in and heal and uplift and expand their people. That's the whole point of this breeding program, of why I started it. Was, well, I didn't start it. The divine, downloads what I'm supposed to do, guidance, right? All the things. But my point is it's like, if that's you in your creations, being able to communicate, because I know for me, that was quite literally, I'm like, okay, well, where are the breakdowns in communication for X, Y, and Z? There's like various things, right, that I was journaling on and meditating on and really coming to like an awareness of, or at least seeking the awareness, right? Even planting the seeds, like I want you to do with our journals, when we plant the seeds, even if it's in the, right, well, I mean, all seeds have to be planted in the dark before they can sprout. They have to do their initial growth like in that, phase before they can be presented to the public to be like, aha, here's my thing, here's my gift, right? What is it that you need to communicate better in your relationships, in your job and career, in your finances, in your relationship with yourself or animals? Like, what is it that you need to work on and expressing or communicating or understanding even, or receiving even? What are the things that you're needing to do? And that's really what's being super highlighted at this new moon, is all of these forms and fashions of communication. And so, and being able to find people that we align with. And so, okay, I'm going to get into like the whole, like the rest of it now too. So I'm going to briefly talk about the themes real quick. Let me grab my notes. Oh goodness me. Let me know in the chat how y'all are feeling, like how y'all are receiving this. Like, is this landing? What are things that are coming up for you? Let me know. I would love to hear them. So, okay, let's get into the themes. So, in this expansiveness of communication, so I still have Jupiter and all of that going on. And so things are still very expanding. Hold on, let me grab some coffee because I'm actually quite tired right now. But I'm just really excited because there's so many amazing things happening. Okay. So with this expansion of communication, this could also mean people from your past randomly coming up and you having an opportunity to deal with it one way or another. And so this could, of course, be ex-relationships, ex-friendships, ex-coworkers, ex-bosses. Maybe things end on a very good terms, like whatever that might look like for you. Take it as an opportunity to maybe speak unspoken words, speak up on things that you haven't maybe had a chance to express, right? So again, activating your throat chakra is all about communication, which of course we're totally going to get into. I'm super excited because I always love because it doesn't always make sense oftentimes until I'm like in the things, and just like I just get excited because the downloads I get to see. That's the thing I've been putting into consciousness. I want to create this invention where you can take what you're thinking, like the images, and like express it onto a screen. Because seriously, y'all, if I could show you what the downloads, I mean, it's even hard sometimes for my human self to like replicate it, because I'm just like, whoa. It's really cool. And because it's like your soul knows it. Maybe you resonate with this way where your soul knows it, but it's like your human side is like, I'm still processing to be able to repeat that. Give me a minute. Downloading, still pending, right? The old school behavior, all the times that we had to like connect to the internet and whatnot. Please wait, connecting. Maybe that's you. And yeah, I mean, it's all the time, right? But that's where I always go into, if you've ever heard me talk, where it's like, I always believe we should be growing at all times. We should always be expanding. No one should ever be there, right? Because in complacency comes comfort, and that comfort breeds, and that comfort, of course, breeds mistakes and all of the things, right? So we never want to get complacent. We never want to get where we are just no big deal, right? And so think about how you want to address that before coming into that response with whoever this person might be that comes up, and how it is that you want to respond to them in the way that you want to show up. Maybe this is a time that you finally communicate how it is you feel, and you finally get the things that you never said off your chest. Maybe this is a time that you get to finally close that door. Maybe you don't say anything at all. I don't know. It's going to depend. But think about it, right? This is really a time to amplify, because we're going to definitely get into, well, okay, so hold on. Let me go back to it. So the reason why the amplification of the logic is because Mercury is squaring Saturn, which is really intensifying the focus of concentration and focused work. So like different things that we want to get into, like the concentration, coming back to like, what is it that I actually want to do? How do I want to respond? What do I want to say to this person before I actually respond? Like nobody deserves an immediate response from you. And the more you can come into the logical side and really balance, which of course is a theme that we're going to get into, but it's that balance, right? Where we are able to come into that oneness, that 0 point of consciousness, and really assess, okay, well, what do I want to do with this? How do I want to deal with this? And the relationship part is because the Mercury is sextiling Venus and Mars, and it's at 11 degrees, which is a master number. So it's like all of these influences of like love and romance and relationships, like intimate relationships. So it could be intimate friendships, maybe close friendships, family members, of course, spouse or partner, or starting a new relationship. And of course, like we are in this time, and that's where I want to get into. I want to read this thing on Sedna, because we are also in this. I thought it was quite interesting, about the things going on with Sedna that had just happened, in addition to the fact that like we are starting on all of these new energies and all of these new things that are happening. And so before I get into that, let me get and finish the rest of the things. But it's so interesting because, like we talked about, there's so many different things happening. All the different things, like if you want to manifest, y'all, it's time to manifest. Get into that, right? And but going back to where we're balancing the logic and intuition, it's coming into where we need to balance that, right? Well, yes, we need to be in that 5D consciousness, but also at the same time being in the logical side as well, to be in this time where we are able to put the downloads into creation, put everything that we are wanting to create into actual fruition, right? We're planting the seeds. We're planting everything in the dark right now. We're getting very clear. How do we want to plant them? Where do we want to plant them? What does this look like? If you garden, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You don't just plant anyone with anything and you just free for all. Like that's not at all how this works. Like you have there are specific crops that grow with one another. There are specific crops that, it's a thing. Like you're very intentional, you're conscious, and it's no different now with your manifestations. There's no different now with everything that you're wanting to create. And so what is it? Like for me, I literally hired on someone to take over my social media, because trying to deal with the puppies and the breeding program and managing that social media and the other one, it was not working, and I'm not communicating my message to my ideal clients. I needed to tweak this, and I was just like full stop, and I got so clear. That's why I've been doing my own work, y'all. Like I'm not sitting up here on like some, whatever, like saying, no, you should do your deep work. And I'm not, y'all, I am deep in my own deep thoughts, but that's how I elevate myself. And I want y'all to do the same thing. So maybe you've had things coming up that you were needing to communicate. Maybe it's around your finances, because that is absolutely a theme. And it's really creating a disciplined practice of your finances right now that's absolutely being amplified. So what do you want to create? What do you want to plant in goals and maybe relationships? Maybe me, I had to purge a whole thing I didn't even know about finances. I was like, oh, that's cool. Thank you for coming up. Thank you for serving me where it needed. And now you're gone. Peace. Now I can elevate my wealth consciousness. And that's a time for you if that's what you're wanting to do. And this is, of course, coming into creating daily healthy routines. What is it you're wanting to do? What is it you're wanting to create? What is it you're wanting to step into that connection with when you are trying to elevate your health? Maybe you're getting into new routines. Maybe, full disclosure, I contacted one of my girlfriends. She's local. And I was like, I have been slacking. I want to be that mom who shows up faithfully every weekend to the farmer's market. I'm done with big box stores and meeting all of my, I talk about it and I've been making the effort, but I was like, I'm kind of like, oh, I got stuff, kids and, no, full stop. I need an accountability partner. This is the person I want to be. I communicated this to her a couple weeks ago. We set a time and I'm just like, no, I'm just going to start without you, because we couldn't start this weekend. We were supposed to start next. And I was like, no, I'm not waiting. I'm starting now. it happens now because I'm that person. I want that as a goal for me personally, right? And I needed to communicate with someone I feel close to in my area that is going to help me be accountable and be like, yo, hey, you said you were going to be here, and that's going to really light a fire under my butt and be like, yep, we're going, kind of a thing, and get it kind of push me into that new routine. I've been kind of just like, I'll get there. I mean, it's not like, y'all, I have had so many things happening. It has just been crazy, but it's like I see the good in it. I see the divineness in the creations that are happening, or the devastations, or the destructions, or the death of things, whether it's physical or realistic. You know, I've had both physical deaths happening and, of course, metaphorical deaths. And so that might be, you might be looking back at your whole like entry up to 2023, like, Alex, you said this was going to be an awesome year. No, it is, because we needed to go through that, because now we're in like this whole summer of love. And I mean that of like manifestation love and full on creation. What do you want to create? What is it you're stepping into? What is it you're wanting to create in your own life? And so you also might be having these dreams, right? Like I said, this is that balance of the logic and intuition, is where we're really kind of drawing this beautiful divine balances. And that's what it is. Get into your daily routines. Plant the seeds of the daily routines that afford you balance in your mind, body, and soul. Those routines that really set you up. Maybe that's getting disciplined. Maybe you're like, Alex, I need some help. I'm totally joining that 40-day abundance 0600 Central Standard Time daily meditation. We are doing it. If you didn't catch my spiel about it before, sign up and register. It's a free meditation in the mornings, 0600 Central Standard Time to start your day. 40-day abundance. John Randolph Price. I have a workbook and everything with it, so it's gonna be epic. Y'all, so many things came up for me, and it was beautiful. And maybe you are now having to have this time where you're communicating like, yo, I need help, and you reach out to someone like I did. You know, and she was amazing. She's like, yes, girl, let's do it, because I needed to do it too. And I was like, yes, I knew you were the one. Because again, I let divine guide me. I let divine be like, because I was just like, who do I reach out to? Boom, she dropped right in, and I said, done. And I messaged her, and done, right? Because when we put that into consciousness, when we put that stuff into consciousness, we're becoming aware, like, I need this in my life to change, because this is, and you may not even know how or why or what it's going to look like, but again, communicating to get your changes, but beginning awareness. And so if you haven't gotten your pen and paper, go ahead and grab something to write down with, because I have a couple of journal prompts I want you guys to really kind of meditate on after the fact, and really kind of just get real with yourself, because at the end of the day, you're the one in control. That's part of this human experience. Like, we have that opportunity to be completely in alignment with God. And I mean, that's where it's like these gifts, those natural gifts come right through, whether you're healing. You know, if you know my feelings, I personally believe Jesus was a teacher. He told us, he's like, y'all can heal. We can do these things. We can work miracles and wonders. We have the consenting power of the divine, should we choose to, but we have to be aligned and allowing the divine to work in and through us. We don't get to do. My whole body's just been like, boom. Oh, that feels so good, because it's so true. Y'all, if you haven't had the opportunity, man, like, this is how we get into it. You speak into what it is that you're wanting and you're needing help with, and you speak it into existence, because we have been told we don't have that power, but we do. God gave it to us. Divine source energy, whatever you want to call it, is that divine connection that lives in and through us, expands our soul consciousness through our heart space. Is that energy, whatever label you put it on. I personally don't care. I just want you to align with that. And with that, my beautiful friends, I want to get into the journal prompt. So hopefully you had a chance to grab this. I'm going to grab some water, because you always know, make sure you hydrate when you're doing energy work. And no, I'm not crazy. Yes, I'm in a sweater, but my house is like 80 degrees and I'm cold if I am not in this, because it's cold. The puppies get hot. It's a whole thing. Y'all want to see some of the babies real quick? Grab it. So we got some that are eyes are open and some that haven't had their eyes open yet. I'm streaming to multiple places. That's why it might seem kind of weird why I'm like holding at different angles. So, yeah. Oh my goodness. So awesome being able to like expand like their little heart cup spaces. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay. Oh my goodness. I love them. So cute. In case anyone is wondering, the bigger one, those guys can go home July 22nd, and the littler ones will go home, I think it's the weekend of August 3rd. Don't quote me on that last one, but it's like 2 weeks later. So if you're interested, we have some spots available. We have some deposit families that are still picking or need to pick still. Those bigger ones are coming into that age. Actually, this weekend we have our pup picks. I'm excited. So after that, we'll know who's available. And yeah, so if y'all are interested, we've got our free application. And of course, we do free Zoom calls if that is of interest. Excuse me. So these journal prompts, y'all, the biggest thing I'm sure is going to be super surprising is me saying, what is the one area I want to expand my communication in right now? So go ahead and write that down in your phone, maybe text it to yourself if you don't have a pen and paper, or put it in your notes. And the journal prompt is, what is the one area I want to expand in my communication right now? So go ahead and write that down. The next one is, in what area do I need to create a new routine? In what area do I need to create a new routine? And it doesn't matter if you are like, oh, I don't know what to do. It's okay. It's absolutely okay, because you know what? What matters is that y'all are even aware that this area is needing some love. And right now we are doing it. Sometimes I like to do stuff like right as like the moon is doing whatever it is. This time I really specifically wanted to get in here early. So y'all can come back to this video. You can come back with like some of the stuff. Maybe you need to do some clearing. Maybe you need to do some shamanic soul retrieval. That might be, ooh, someone needed to hear that. Shamanic soul retrieval. Someone needed to hear that. If that's resonating with you, look that up. Look up those meditations. Ooh, yeah. Someone needs to hear that. Look it up. Look into it. Look up the different like I said, meditations. Do the 2 headphones in. Always do both earbuds or headphones, whatever that looks like for you, because at the end of the day, you want to make sure you're getting all of those different binaural beats in. And the Sedna thing. Next journal prompt. Oh, what dreams would I love to see happen? I don't care if logically it's like absolutely this will never happen. I don't care what logic says. I want your dreams. I want you to play with this one. And this is like once you clear stuff, especially if this is like kind of like that for y'all energetically, come back to this one and really tune into that later time, and really come back to it after you've done some clearing, after you've maybe done some shamanic soul retrieval, whatever is resonating with you. But come back to that one, because that one is going to help you so much with being able to really step into your power. I really wanted to read this Said Nothing to you guys. So let me go over to it. Okay, so now, of course, I'm just reading the whole thing because this might resonate with some people and it may or may not. But I just am feeling really called to read this verbatim. I don't know much about Sedna. I just know that it's a dwarf planet. It's like 11,000 years it shifts and shifts into something new. But it's interesting because, like I was saying, like there's all these different things that are happening that are around like planting and starting new, and all these different things that are in this creation station of newness. And so then of course this is happening, and it's like 11,000 years is when this shifts. And so it's just very interesting, I think, of plus going into the different signs, like because Sedna is actually moving into Gemini. We have the new moon in Gemini that is happening right now. And it's just like this whole season has been where we are just like all the way up until now, I'd really say, of 2023 for like the collective community. And it's been about, like I said, the destruction and all of these things coming and purging and getting into this oneness and this newness, right? And so that is coming into where they have. So here, let me read this. Let me just read it. It'll just make more sense. So she says, now Sedna is moving into Gemini, and this is a whole other ballgame. Gemini seems to hold an important role this year that I am still uncovering. Last year, we had Mars in the masculine, which is masculine energy, move into Gemini in late August. Due to retrogrades, he stayed in Gemini for over 7 months, which is an exceptionally long time for Mars to be in any one sign, and did not leave until the end of March this year. What was that masculine energy learning here? I have so she's got her natal Mars in Gemini 8th house. So she's got a particular contract with that energy from her own experience. The shadow of Gemini is becoming consumed by the mutual body. Too much information, too much activity, restlessness, and anxiety. Holy wow, does that not sound like the collective right now? Everyone is like freaking out. So that's interesting. Where was I? Oh yeah. So now Sedna will be moving into Gemini tomorrow for over 50 years. And not to mention, we have a new moon in Gemini coming up the weekend on June 18th, Father's Day. So it's like you see all these different things and things that are happening. We've got relationships, we've got communication. Maybe you're healing father wounds. Maybe this is the time, or maybe you're healing the wounds with your son. If you have a son, or you are a son and you're needing to heal the wounds with your own, parents, or, maybe it's, I don't know. You get my point, though, is wherever this is falling, it's just interesting that there's all of this different energy. And it's, of course, it's all healing. It's wanting to come up. You're being triggered. Things are happening because they want to be healed. They want, you figure God's universal law, the divine law, ultimate law is love. Like God's, feels so good. It's true, though. Oh, it is love. It's love. Love is the divine universal law. And when we don't have our wits about us, if you will, for a lack of better words, we can easily be consumed by the human stuff. We can easily be like, ah, and just instead of stepping back into that 0 point of consciousness and recognizing like, oh, this is triggering me because it wants to heal and it wants to be loved on. And I see you. Let's do it. And maybe that's what's happening for you. And so she real briefly goes on to say, it feels to me that the masculine energy within us is all being put to test under these Gemini conditions. And remember too, masculine energy is movement too, right? So you've got, when you're looking at like from a creative perspective, a creative lens, you're looking at it, whereas the divine is the creation, it's the birthing, it's the womb, it's the sacredness, right? Whereas the masculine is the penetration, it's the movement, it's the forward moving, it's the thing that takes the creation and puts it into the world. It brings it forward and provides the opportunity to have through the like it's penetrating the energy to bring forth the creation into the world, essentially, right? That's masculine energy. And so going into this being tested, who and what in your life is being tested? Is it relationships with masculine energies in general? Men, not necessarily. Women can have or portray to have masculine energy as well. So it could be anything of the nature, kind of just depending on how that energy and how that person energetically vibrates with, right? So let's see. Sedna is restricting the power of the feminine energy within the Gemini spectrum, as Gemini does not rule the twins in duality, or does rule the twins in duality, excuse me. Gemini, being ruled by Mercury, dominates our brain and mental bodies. We have been looked into the masculine, my goodness, left brain only, and completely severed ourselves from the right brain, the feminine mental body. So again, talking about like the mind-body creation, the body and the creation and the feminine, the womb space, the creation, the birthing, right? That part, whereas the masculine brings it forward through logic, and it's that balance, right? That we're really kind of doing this dance within ourselves. Most often is what you're going to find right now, if nothing else. So Sedna is now resurrecting the power of the intuitive thought, higher thought, the power of listening to others, storytelling from the heart, and casting aside our addictions to information, proof, and facts in favor of real truth, the divine truth, conviction, and a loyalty to the divine. In essence, the masculine energy must learn to stop talking and listen to the feminine energy. And so one of the things I know for me, you know, when you're talking about like politics and like who's telling the truth and really being honest, and everybody lies, and there's a lot of people lying who says they're honest, peep into when Obama in 2013 signed propaganda back into being legal. So that is why the FCC doesn't even mess with them. That's a whole freaking thing. If you haven't dug into that, you should. We need to impeach 44 1,000%. If you haven't gone already, go to impeach44.com, click on the picture, and you will see everything that you need to know. Anywho, so yeah, that's about Sedna. Kind of, I guess, makes sense with everything that's going on too. Collectively, that's what I was saying. I found it very interesting. Like, even though it's like the planets and the realness of the moon and planets and how all that really actually fits within what they've told us, you know, to each his own and their own different beliefs, but nobody can deny the fact that there are energetic frequencies that some way or another we do have an impact with. And so that's what I'm really interested in tuning into. That's more than anything what I try to get into as to what is wanting to be felt and brought into. Oh no! Told you I was playing a very delicate balancing game. There we go. Amazing. So let me know in the chat how y'all are feeling with that. Like, how does that resonate? What does that make you feel like? How is that resonating with you? Because, I mean, there's just a lot. There's a lot going on. If you are willing to drop it in the chat, what you are feeling, if any of this is resonating with you, if you have any things that you're wanting to share that you're actively, consciously creating, because, you know, being able to connect with the divine, being crystal clear, because that's really where a lot of people get ambiguous with their manifestations and like what they're calling into their life or intentionally and consciously creating, you know. And you got to get crystal clear. Like, I mean, crystal clear as being able to describe exactly like what it is you're seeing, like on these cards, for instance. What is it you just saw? How did that make you feel, right? It's everything. It's the mind, body, and soul aspect of putting into fruition. And then, of course, not bombarding it with a ton of crazy energy, like, you know, scarcity and lack. Is there anything that you are putting towards it? Fears. And, you know, it's one thing. So I asked, what does the collective need to know right now? And it says take risk. So I'm going to just give me a second if you can't see it yet. do my little move around. So can't take risks. Or excuse me, can't take risks. Maybe you feel like you can't take a risk. Maybe that's a Freudian slip. You know, this has got the ram, I believe. Yeah, those mountain goats that are able to just scale those walls. If y'all have never seen mountain goats scale walls, look it up. It's mind blowing. Maybe that's something that you are struggling with right now. Sacred sexuality. That was another one that came out. Maybe this is for someone who is exploring that, connecting with their divine. Maybe you are coming into a new relationship. Maybe you are exploring that in these new romantic relationships with you, or maybe you're taking it up, you know, to the next level with your partner, whatever that might look like. If you haven't looked into what tantric sex is, you definitely should, and explore that with your partner. Maybe that's if that's resonating yet with you, maybe that's what that is speaking to me right now. Because I know for me, like when I'm putting forth things that I'm actively and intentionally trying to create, make sure you guys, one of the pups was just angry. She was having to, she was angrily walking to mom. Yeah, I feel like it's complete now. Yeah, so, and then these two came out together, manifestation and ascension. Makes sense. So take those risks. And maybe that means working with your womb space. Maybe you have trauma in your womb space. And maybe that's where that sacred sexuality comes from. You know, maybe you were a victim of sexual trauma. And that's where you're being really called. Because, you know, and maybe it was from, you know, a male, a father figure, someone like that. And maybe there's trauma around that. You know, whatever it is that's coming up, I mean, I don't know the depths of it. If you're not working with a therapist or a coach and you've got some serious stuff coming up, I highly encourage you to reach out to somebody. You know, people are always welcome into our private community where we go deep into meditations and stuff like that. So even just aligning with aligned people and awakened people can be really helpful if you're going through that, especially as you're ascending and you're manifesting, helping you keep your vibration high to be in the midst of others who, I mean, because maybe you're struggling, maybe that's where it's at. So it's powerful, y'all. I'm not kidding. I mean, y'all saw the cards, you know, I'm not sitting here just picking them out. I mean, that's just spirit and the divine coming forward saying, what is it you're wanting to create? What are you wanting to manifest? Because I mean, it's part of the human experience. We have a choice. We can choose to ascend. We can choose to heal. We can do the soul healing and what it is we are called to do, or we don't have to. I mean, that's obviously a choice too, you know? So let's get into our breath work and our meditation. So, and I want us to get clear, you know, on a lot of things that might be hindering you right now. And sorry if it's loud. You know, really, I was guided to work with our heart space on top of our throat chakra and activating it. And so if you want to get your journal prompts out and allow some time after the meditation to sit with those and just really kind of just give this time to yourself. You're already here to really at least get clear on what it is you're wanting to create, what it is that you are wanting to to plant. What are you wanting to create right now? What are you wanting to plant? What are you wanting to plant? Oh my goodness, my words are effortlessly flowing from here on out. Thank you and amen. So with that being said, if it's safe to do so on the other side of the screen, go ahead and just find a place to get comfortable. You can start rubbing your hands, just creating that kinetic connection with yourself, being able to just bring your left and right hemispheres of your brain to this one present moment. And if it feels good, go ahead and just close your eyes right now. And I just want to set the intention right here and right now, knowing the beauty, the truth, the beautiful creations that are coming forward and being brought into this one mind, the divine mind, the creation that is being abundantly brought into fruition, into the 3D right here and right now, planting these beautiful seeds, planting the clarity and getting clear and being able to plant exactly what it is that we need to tweak and adjust. And, just little fine tunements that'll help bring more into divine alignment. And I say yes, yes, yes to all of the beautiful things that are being crafted right here and right now. Love to all, harm to none in this beautiful moment where we are creating abundance within our own selves, our generational wells, and putting our families and bringing them along for the ride, letting them experience the same soul growth, healing, and abundance that we ourselves are actively seeking and being brought into the linear tracks because we said yes to ourselves, yes to our healing, yes to the present moment right here and right now, and knowing the divine truth that it is spoken right here, knowing my words are law and they're spoken into existence over every single person who chooses to receive. And if that is you, just simply say, yes, I receive, I receive, I receive. And I say yes to being able to lift up, bless, love on abundantly, and just give back to every single person right here and right now. And I say thank you, thank you, thank you, knowing the truth that is spoken right here and right now. And so it is. Amen, amen, amen. All right, y'all, with our eyes still closed, I want you just to feel your belly, your breath. Just feel yourself and getting present with your body, getting present with creating this moment right here and right now. That you are so deserving to be abundantly blessed in all things in life. For that is the divine's will for us in our human experience, is to express as the divine in complete alignment with the divine as one, because we already are one. And I'm just coming back to the truth of that oneness right here and right now. Coming back to this oneness, this one divine mind, in this moment that we are feeling and sharing and loving. Being in this one space, this one mind, this one divine time. Feeling your natural breath. I want you to feel into this energy center down into your pelvic bowl, allowing your root chakra to activate and come alive. And just witnessing its energy, witnessing its presence. And just recognizing your sacral chakras, just witnessing its presence and its activation. And you can place your hands over these areas if that feels good to do so. Just placing your hands over your solar plexus and just witnessing. And placing your hands over your heart and witnessing. Placing your hands over your throat, maybe even letting out a positive, I love you, or I am so proud, whatever feels good. A brief little affirmation just to speak love into your energy right here and right now. And just feeling into the activation of your throat. Touching your third eye and just feeling into that energy activation. And feeling into your crown, where our connection to our divine is abundant and open at all times. Should we choose to let it be? I just want you to imagine like you're wearing like jeans, and if there was like a little fish hook and it catches the back of your jean loop and kind of pulls your hips forward a little bit. And I want you to consciously bring your belly button back towards your spine so you're kind of sucking it in. And I want you to open up your chest. I want you to roll your shoulders back. And as you're allowing your shoulders and your body to open up, going back to our root down into our pelvic bowl, I want you to feel the energy spooling up, activating and energizing. Feel the warmth in the center. And as the energy flows up your body and up into your divine mind that connects you through the conscious, through the connected creator, Being able to connect to the through the sacral, connecting and warming up that energy, activating it and moving up the energy. Moving it up through your solar plexus, activating the energy, moving up through your heart, and just allowing your body to be open and able to move this energy up and through. Moving it up through your heart, moving it up through your throat and your third eye and into your crown, allowing it to connect with the divine God, universe, source, spirit, whatever divine creation, creator that you work with. I don't care what you call it, just that beautiful divine creator, that connection, that source energy. That is who I want you to connect with. Allowing them to be and opening up your channel, opening up to them, opening up to receive the beautiful divine downloads, allowing the connection, giving permission to receive the beautiful downloads. And just as you're allowing this connection and this energy to move through your roots, up through your crown and connecting to the divine, I want you to allow it to loop back around, creating like a circle of energy all around you, emanating out of every area, this beautiful divine connection, and allow the energy to move. Move into your body, move into you, move into the system, move into this activations, and allow it to go back through your root and activating this energy. Taking a deep breath in, holding it at the top, slowly letting it out. Taking a deep breath in, holding it at the top, slowly letting it out. Feeling into this activation, feeling into this energy, feeling into this moment, your toes tingling up your legs, into your hips and your body, physically feeling the tingling sensation of the energy that is moving all around you in your personal energy creation that you have created for you. Taking a deep breath in, holding it at the top, slowly letting it out. And I want you to go back to your journal prompt. What changes in connection or communication do I need to make right now? What changes are coming up? What changes need to be had? And clarity around it. In whatever way that resonates most with you, I just want you to ask yourself that and be open to any area and anything to come forward. So what changes in communication need to change or happen right now? Placing your hands over your heart or however that resonates best for you. Allow your heart to expand for the things to come through and allow your heart space to listen boldly, courageously, and compassionately to what it is that your body, your mind, and soul is needing to hear right now. What changes in communication or need to happen right now? And if it feels good to do so, write it down. Because odds are you might forget later. It's a human thing. We all do it. Whatever's coming to you, write it down. It's not good or bad. It's just simply information. It wants to be healed. It wants to be loved on. It wants some attention so that you can live your highest version of your highest self right here in this 3D existence. So what changes in communication need to happen right now? Taking a deep breath in, slowly letting it out. Placing your hands on your throat chakra if that feels good to do so in any way that feels good to your body. And as you just tune into your voice and your throat, I want you to ask yourself, what new creations am I speaking into existence right now? What do you need to speak into existence right now to serve in your highest good? What do you want to speak into existence and create for your preferred life? Write it down as it comes to you. What actions are you speaking into existence right now? Taking a deep breath in, slowly letting it out. Taking a deep breath in, slowly letting it out. Take a deep breath in, slowly letting out. If you wrote these things you were to speak into existence down, I want you to take a moment with your hand over your throat if possible to help feel into the vibrations of the words that you're speaking. And I want you to speak them into existence right now on the other side of the screen. Opening up your throat chakra and let it sing. Speaking your truth into existence right here and right now. Allow the words to flow, as powerful as they are, into existence. For you are so worthy of these divine blessings. Taking a deep breath in, slowly letting it out. If you need more time, feel free to go back and play that part over. If you're ready to move on, taking a deep breath in, Slowly letting it out. Last one. Taking a deep breath in. Slowly letting it out. And as you've spoken these words into existence, I want you to imagine, if your heart space isn't already open, I want you to imagine your heart space just opening up and receiving all these beautiful things and frequencies you've created. Receiving all the beautiful words you've spoken into existence. And just receive, 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 receive. And speaking into out loud on the other side of the screen, just simply say, I receive, I receive, I receive these beautiful blessings meant for me. I receive, I receive, I receive God's love for me. Or Force Infinite, whatever you want to call the divine. Enter your name in there. I receive, I receive, I receive the eternal love for my family. I receive, I receive, I receive these divine words spoken out just for me. I receive, I receive, I receive. Taking a deep breath in, slowly letting it out. And if this was hard for you, I just want you to kind of sit and ask why. What was it about this exercise that was so hard to receive? Maybe things started coming up. I encourage you to write them down if they did. Because if you're having a hard time receiving, your blessings could be knocking at your door and you wouldn't be able to receive. I want you to feel that love. I want you to receive that joy. It's okay to ask yourself where that lack, scarcity, fear, whatever it might be, that is making it hard for you to receive. Where is it coming from? I'd like you to sit with that for a moment if this was really difficult. And if this was easy, I just want you to focus on receiving. Just sit here, just visualize all the receipt coming on in. Just, oh yeah, baby, bring me the abundance. But if this was hard for you, I want you to sit here and ask yourself why. Why was this difficult for me to receive? Why am I having a hard time receiving the divine love and abundance that is divinely meant for me as my birthright, as God expressing as your unique expression? It is my birthright to have the choice to step into divine alignment, which also means to divinely receive. Why is this so hard for me? Why am I so resistant? Why is this so hard for me to receive divine love, blessings, and abundance? Taking a deep breath in, slowly letting it out. Taking a deep breath in, slowly letting it out. Taking a deep breath in. Slowly letting it out. Oh, goodness me. If you are ready to come back, start wiggling your toes. Start coming back to your present mind. Oh, goodness me. Y'all, I pray that bless you. I pray you are able to really step into receiving those clear communications and downloads. Because at the end of the day, that's where, if you're trying to amplify, manifest, right? Like we were talking about, manifest and what was it? Manifest and ascension. Yeah, manifest and ascension. Yeah, if that's where y'all are headed to, man, connect with the divine. I'm telling you what. That y'all don't forget to sign up to our weekly wealth and generational wealth consciousness and soul healing group private community, where we also have monthly coaching calls, as well as get some of our freebies in the description wherever you're watching this. So you got some meditation, some gratitude stuff. So whatever that might be resonating with you, don't forget to check it out. So cannot wait to connect with y'all next time. So next time, love.